your tendons, right? And there's very few exercises that train your tendons, all right? Most exercises, and most of us, there's all kinds of information about bodybuilding out there. So most of us, when we start arm wrestling, we adapt some kind of bodybuilding program to it. And arm wrestling, more than any other sport, even more so than strongman competition, we're constantly inventing exercises and shit. The bad part of that is there's 10,000 people out there with arm wrestling exercises. It's hard to determine which one you want to do. The good part is, out of 10,000 exercises, a bunch of them are very good ones, okay? But to actually strengthen the tendons, you have to load the muscle very quickly, quicker than the muscle can react. So that's usually a plyometric stuff. So the medicine ball talk, throwing stuff, that kind of stuff. Bands help train your tendons quite a bit. But the best for arm wrestling that I found was actually developed by a power lifter for increasing the tendons in his bench pressing, and that was J.M. Blakely. And he's got a video out there on YouTube called the J.M. Press. Those will fix your elbow pain. Okay, I started arm wrestling in 2000. Arm wrestling's been popular in America for decades before that, and nobody's ever gotten the key to that elbow pain. Learn the JM press, all right? And if you don't, can we pull that bench out a second? You know how to do the JM presses, right, Paul? You demonstrate it?
No, we don't.
All right. Who knows?
What?
You can do a JM press?
I think so.
All right. Stephanie can.
Sounds like.
Let's just do an empty box. Yeah.
Over here.
Oh, can you put your head at the other end?
Yeah.
What this does,
I hope I do it right.
you do the 45-pound bar?
Yeah.
Okay, so
take it here?
it's a cross between a skull crusher and then like a narrow grip. So what she'll do is she'll come halfway down into her press, then she'll roll her wrist back and bring the bar down to about her neck. Down to her neck. All right? She stops when her upper arm and her forearm stop right there. So the more, all right? So what you're doing is you're putting all that stress right into that. Then she presses it back up.
Do I go back up like this?
You just press it back up, yep. But come bring it back down here slower.
Okay.
Roll your wrist back, okay?
Yeah.
Then the other thing is you false grip it. So you put the thumb on the same side of the bar as your fingers to get a little bit more of that wrist roll back. So bring it down to your neck, yeah, and then up, okay? These strengthen the tendons, but it will rehab your tendons. It will make that beginning arm wrestling pain go away.
I think so.
Yes, sir.
Does that work with dumbbells too?
No, it does not. And we're gonna get to text me, message me anytime you want. Okay, I answer all the questions. But I get people who say, "Dude," they don't say "dude." They say. It's almost embarrassing. They go, "Sir," or "Champ, I follow your training, I do all your advice," and then they proceed to tell me all the stuff they do that I've never said. One guy said, "I'm doing the JM presses with dumbbells just like you said." I go, "I never said you can do it with dumbbells." The problem with a dumbbell is it doesn't control it. It has to be done with a barbell, right? But bring that down and it's the stretch. Now, the JM press will push up your bench quite a bit. I am not a believer that bench pressing is all that important for arm wrestling. But that is a tendon building machine. Yes, sir.
Have you tried to do a modified version of it, kind of with push-ups or something like that?
I have not, but Marcio Barbosa says he does not have a bench. So he was going to try to do them on the floor. You can, if you lay flat on a floor, because the bar doesn't, your elbows don't come below your back. So you might be able to do them on a floor, right? I would think the problem with doing it on a push-up is you don't get to roll your wrist back, which throws a little extra stress into it, you know?
You mean back as in this back or this back?
This back.
Okay, because she was doing them this way. And I just want to make sure that it was
So like this?
Oh. Well, why don't you come up here?
Let me try to do it.
Everybody, you know what? Everybody should come up here and try this.
You do it one more. Yeah, I'll give you both those.
While we were transitioning here. So close is better than.
We're gonna start here, and we're gonna talk about grip in a second. Start here. Come down just a little bit with your elbows. Now roll your wrists down to your neck. And stop. Stop by the front, and now press up.
Then the wrists go flat again. So
Yep.
it's like
Now curl them again. Yep.
flat out. Like that. Am I doing good?
And yep. And you stop. The whole trick is to stop when your forearm and your biceps hit. All right. Because now you're stretching all of these and it's pushing down.
What do you think of his grip so close together?
We're gonna talk about grip in a second. Jay and Blakely, the power lifters all do this, and they all do their normal bench press grip. Okay. But I'm gonna talk about powerlifting a lot. I don't know shit about powerlifting. All right. What I did was I read a whole bunch of stuff on a powerlifting website, the Westside Barbell, and adapted it to arm wrestling. So I can speak intelligently about powerlifting to people who don't powerlift, but I can't speak intelligently about powerlifting to powerlifters. Okay? But what I do know is when you are powerlifting, when you bench, it's the same grip and it's the same plane of motion every single time. Arm wrestling, we don't get that, right? If I grab you, you're gonna push me this way, and I'm gonna pull you, and then you're gonna pull me something differently. So I don't have the ability in the bench press. It would be sweet if arm wrestling was that same train of motion every time. But then it would be weightlifting, it wouldn't be arm wrestling. So what I'm gonna do is most powerlifting movements, I don't care if they talk again all the time. If these guys don't care, I don't care. All right? But what I'm gonna say is you need to train all that different angles, because you're gonna arm wrestle taller people, shorter people, fast people, short people. So we're gonna take this JM press, right, which they do with their normal legal grip, and we're gonna do close grip, medium grip, wide grip, and we're gonna superset them. Okay, we're gonna do a set, then we're gonna do a set, and we're gonna do a set, and you're gonna find out one of those grips is stronger than the other grip. Then that's the grip we're gonna dump extra volume on. We're gonna keep pushing it, because we gotta have the ability, even though we're always going sideways, okay, we're always headed towards this point, but the force we have to apply is sometimes beyond that because they're pushing us, and sometimes we're pulling it because they're pulling us, but we're still trying to hit that same spot. So you got to train all angles of your arm. You got to have way more muscle development and coordination development than what a bench presser does, or even somebody who's just a professional curler, because that bar is going up in the same plane every time. We don't have that ability. And that ability to be strong, we all know people who are just wicked freaking freaks in their one move. Kenny Hughes from California is one of them. Corey Miller is another. They hit that groove and they're wicked fast. You pull them out of it a little bit, and all of a sudden they become mortal. But we all know those country boys who just seem strong no matter where you put them, right? They're like a rusty bolt no matter where you're pulling on them. That's what we got to develop. We got to develop that ability to be strong on the whole aspect of those angles. Yes, sir.
How many times a week do you hit the JM presses?
I do them every time I train my arms, and I train arm wrestling specific stuff 3 days a week.
Okay.
In the mornings, it's all full range movement stuff. So it's a max. We're going to talk about max day, speed day, volume day. Evenings are isometrics or plyometrics, but I do my JM presses at the end of all of what would normally be termed like side pressure training, even though it's mostly back pressure stuff.
Okay.
So all of my top roll hooking days, so there's a maximum effort day, a speed day, and a volume day. I end all of it with JM presses.
Okay.
Okay.